Hi everyone, it's Sarah here from Team Sparks, and I just realised as I made my first introduction, I was on mute. So, welcome to this week's launch. We're really excited over at Team Sparks to be sharing this with you. But first of all, I've got to say, our esteemed leader will be arriving at some point during the session. Okay, so you don't have me for the next however long all by myself. Sharyn will be here soon, and I'm just starting things and showing you things. And if you've got any questions, please do type them in, and Sharyn and I will answer them after we've done and shared our screens and all this fabulous content with you. So, what's this all about? Well, let me get up the banner. It's about e-commerce copy. Now, as you know, with the pandemic particularly, lots of businesses have come online. And last year, Sharyn released the most amazing how to set up your online shop program. And one of the requests that kept on coming through was people were looking to sell more from their online shops because e-commerce has made a tremendous impact upon all of our lives, simply because our habits have changed. We've all faced restrictions. If you're in the US, in some states, there's more restrictions than other. Here in the UK, we're just emerging from lockdown. I was speaking to somebody yesterday in France, and they're just going back into lockdown. So we're all dependent online to get certain things for us, whether it's supplies for our work, whether it's to replace items of clothing, whether it's a digital product to keep us more organized. We're doing more and more online than any other point throughout our history. So e-commerce and having our own online shops and helping people with their own online shops is a really, really big thing. Now, before I show you anything, leave me a comment and say hello and tell me where you are, and let me know if you've got an e-commerce store. You can pop up a link in the comments if you want. E-commerce is something that me personally, I didn't take to naturally. I thought you had to talk to people to sell things to them online. And I think deep down it was because I was insecure about my writing. And that's where the e-commerce, e-com copy comes into play. I'm just going to share with you what's in it. And where are you? I think it's this one. Oh. Right, yep, this is the one. So let's just have a quick overview before we come back. There is so much in this program that if you've got an audience that sells a product through e-commerce, maybe through Amazon, because that's the biggest e-commerce store in the world, maybe through their own site, maybe they've got a WooCommerce site, or maybe they just want to know about short form copy to sell their courses, this is the thing you need for them. There are several modules, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there are lessons within the modules. So the first one is about how copywriting impacts your e-commerce sales. The next module, consisting of 4 lessons, is making your e-commerce copywriting sales ready. So the customer journey, the best practice. And this part here, oh, I can't draw a box around it. Oh, I can. How fabulous. Talks about the main e-commerce site pages. So this is exclusively to people who've got e-commerce websites. So as you can see, there's lots of content in it, but it's not entirely about e-commerce websites exclusively. Then there's the sales pages and product descriptions. And then optimizing your e-commerce copy to boost conversions. And there's 2 lessons in this, the conversion boosting elements and using SEO to boost conversions. Then, of course, the conclusion and the next step. So I'm going to stop sharing that and come back to you now. Just by showing you that brief snapshot, you can see that this program covers a tremendous amount of things. So if you think about your own audience at the moment, what are they selling? What are they selling in their stores? Or maybe you've got an audience of authors. What books are they selling? Are they selling low content books? Are they selling print on demand books? Are they publishing through traditional authors but want to sell more of them? Or it could be that somebody is creating online courses, short mini courses, or they've got an academy and they want to sell more of their content. So you can see how flexible this e-commerce for copy program actually is. You can target it at numerous different people. I've got a lot of authors in my community, so I'm going to be talking to them and tweaking the content about adjusting it for Amazon. Now, you may have a lot of people that sell mugs or t-shirts, so you can talk to them and position your program around that. So there's so much you can do with it. There's so much flexibility in it. I don't think I've ever seen such a flexible program from Content Sparks. So go team, you've done fantastic with this one, because it really does fit some really, really brilliant audiences. So with that in mind, let's have a quick look at the slides. Now, I don't know how you look at your Content Sparks stuff, but when I get mine, the first thing I do is go and open the slides and have a look at them. So you can see, now I'm sharing this via Dropbox because StreamYard is particularly fussy. And you can see on screen there's 168 slides. So this is going to make a really robust course for your students. It's not anything lightweight and flimsy. This is something that you can really teach and infuse your passions in. Then we have the introduction and the talking about why e-commerce is important. And then we have this slide. Now, this slide is fantastic. You get this separately as well. So you can put this on your sales page, and it just walks people through how they're going to use. Oh, she's here. The boss is here. Yay!
I made it. I made it.
So long.
Oh my God. Keep going. I don't want to distract you.
So as you can see, you get this slide separately, and what I find is this can go on the sales page, and it's really nice so that somebody just, you know, when you're reading the sales page and it's blocks and blocks of text saying you get this, you get that, you get this, you get that, having this little slide and popping it on the sales page, it just all makes so much sense when you see it. Now I've got to find my slides again. There we go. Then you've got your learning objectives, of course, and then obviously you can ask questions and so on and debrief. And there is just so much in this. Like I said, 168 slides. And if you've got your theme set up on PowerPoint, you can change all these colors really quickly. And as you can see, it goes nice and deep, just enough to share your knowledge and your experiences with your audience. And this one, module 2, appears to be the longest because it's got 4 lessons in it. And I believe the last but one has 3. And I'm just quickly skimming, as you can see on the left down.
Yeah, that helps it keep bite size. Ooh, sorry, I'm echoing out of your speakers. Oops. Makes it less overwhelm.
Yeah. And it is really good. There's some examples here. So you've got some ready-made ones if you haven't got, If you've got a ready-made audience and you want to launch today, you can buy it and launch today because the examples are there, but you can swap them out for your own site or some of your own clients' sites and pop them in. And then obviously it goes into detail about that. Then there's another example of a page from Natalie McNeil, and then the contact page, and then the pages that are specific to e-commerce. And some of these, depending on which country you're in, you absolutely have to have. For example, the privacy policy. Google shows more websites that have privacy policies than it doesn't. So it's a search thing. And I'm just skipping forward to the last
and also,
one.
It's not only that, but if Facebook too,
Yeah,
for privacy policy, if you ever want to run ads, you have to have that.
Yeah. So quite often you'll find that when you're doing something with your clients and they might think that they don't have any issues or any worries whatsoever, their site is fantastic, it's brilliant. And the truth is they've not got their shipping information, they've not got their privacy policy. As Sharon's mentioned, they can't ever run ads because these are essential. So it's a really useful program, particularly if you've got things like strategic web content and next level content. This is another one that fits really nicely into what pages are essential for certain types of website. I can see you're reaching to say something. Go on.
Of course I am. Of course I am. Yeah, because there are also 2 courses which are directly related that'll help you make a curriculum that we also have as on special, like an upsell type thing, the suggested add-ons. You know how with a lot of our courses, we have the main course, maybe an expansion pack, and then a couple suggested add-ons. So for this one, there's how to start an online store. I think that's the name, and get more sales from your online store. So the 3 together are really a nice program about starting an online store and getting more sales and writing the copy and all of that, all fit together really well. And like Sarah said, like you said, Sarah, of course, it's really not, you can adapt that for different types of things. So I can easily see this adapted to something like an online course academy where you have multiple things that you're selling. Some of the things would be tweaked. You know, you're not necessarily going to have a shipping policy unless you're shipping a physical document, a physical guide, which some people do. And returns policy could be, you know, your guarantee, something like that. So sorry I interrupted. I just had to, because here I am with my empty office and shipping boxes behind me.
Yeah, yesterday it was just a blank room, and today you've now got boxes.
Well, this is not my actual desk. This is like a temporary one. The other one's like in an alcove with more light, and I don't have my lightings, which is why I'm all, you know, dark. Anyway, sorry. Where were we?
So I'm actually now going to share with you the sales page, because then we can talk about all of the things. There we go.
And anyone who's here, please say hi so we know. I see there are a few people joining as we go. And I see you've got the nice scrolling URL at the bottom if anybody wants to go directly. E-com copy.
Just saw the ticker button, and you know what I'm like. I'm like pressing that, and
I know. I know. Got to have the gadgets and the cool features. Got to play with them.
So, e-commerce copywriting essentials: turn your online shop browsers into buyers with high converting sales copy. And it's on launch for 6 days. Now, this is important because there is a super fantastic launch bonus. And if you leave it until the end of the month, you're going to miss out. Okay. So here's why you need to teach it. You don't need me to say that out loud.
No, you have to read it.
Oh, I have to. Oh, all right then.
No, I'm saying everyone else is listening. I Okay, it's for the visual. There's the visual and audio. We talk about in one of the other courses somewhere auditory. Oh, that's I'm not going to give that
That's
away
in the
because that's
bonus.
in the bonus. Shh. Okay, sorry.
So here's the famous course roadmap again that I mentioned a
Mhm.
few minutes ago, saying it's brilliant on the sales page. And to remind you that everything is editable and rebrandable. So I've got to be honest, my e-commerce copy, whilst I can do pretty well with Amazon, it's not as polished as I would like it to be. So this for me is a personal development course, as in polishing up my skills and putting it into practice and rewriting some of my own commerce stuff and my course descriptions, because e-commerce copy isn't long form copy, which is the form that I love. It's the short form copy. It's the short, punchy, because you've only got so many characters in some circumstances and only got so much space. So you have to be really concise and you have to really hone your skills. And if you're on the email list, and if you're not, you should be, you'll see that we sent out the 6-word story around the tale about Hemingway, and then Sharyn added in her 6-word story, and I've had a few of you email back and share with me your 6-word story. So if you're thinking, oh, short form copy is really easy, go away and write a story in 6 words and then come back to us and tell us how much you need this, because it's not as easy as you think to write short copy.
Yep.
And the good news is we get everything in this program. So we looked at the slides, so we know all of this. And here's just a quick rundown of what you get visually. The course book for the students, which is brilliant. If you don't look at the slides, you can read through the course book and allow it to sink in your mind and then add your edits. There's the action guide, the copy checklist. I've got that open in a Word document and I thought that was particularly excellent. Then you get the cheat sheet, and that's really good as well. I've taken to calling them quick start guides. You get all of the graphics, so all of the, oh, they were just on screen and they're gone. But you get them through. And then you get the roadmap and the overview infographic, and you get speaker notes as well. So if you're not used to speaking and ad-libbing and adding in your experience, you can follow the speaker notes and add in little extras to make it really beneficial for your audience. And then to help you market it, you get your social media posts, which I believe I opened in a spreadsheet somewhere. I'll scroll down a bit more.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to, I want to throw in my 2 cents about the cheat sheet. Because you call it a quick start guide, but so you can do with it whatever you want. But the other thing that people love it for is it's kind of like a Cliff Notes, if you know what Cliff Notes or Spark Notes or whatever are, so that when somebody, say, watches your video, they don't have to go through a longer thing or try and figure out where in the video you were talking about something. They have that cheat sheet, which you can divide up once you've rebranded it and make it into a PDF. So someone doesn't have to go back. They can just look at their cheat sheet, which is an outline of everything and the key points, and they can skim through. And people love being able to skim, which that's like a little hint, sneak thing about another course that we'll have coming. But I won't say any more about that. So that's really helpful too. That's why people like that.
I'm just thinking, Sharyn, that you could add the timestamps on the video. And, somebody can then say, oh, I don't want to watch this bit, but I do want to know that. I need to move the video forward to 2 minutes 40. So that might be a nice way that you can customize it for your audience.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to tell people how to do that. You know that.
Oh, yes.
Now that you've opened that up as an option.
I'll let you talk about the launch bonus, Sharyn, as you started to tell everybody.
I did. Okay, so the launch bonus, which you only get during the first week. Basically, it ends Wednesday the 14th. Hopefully, I have my dates right because my head is elsewhere. It's a guide to using sensory words for e-commerce copywriting. I can probably open this up to show you. I have some things open. Let me see if I can find it on my computer. Let's see how organized I really am. Obviously not too organized because I never know what date it is right now. So the launch bonus is actually two things. So let me share my screen as well. Share screen. Let's hope it all goes well. I have a couple things open here. So I'm going to open that up here. Let me close what's behind here. So you'll get two folders with it. One is the guide and one's a slideshow that goes with it. So the sensory words guide is, as it opens up on the correct screen, slowly but surely, we will get there. All right, so I will do this. You can see that, right? So sensory words for e-commerce copywriting. What this goes through is basically ways that you can use words that relate to the five senses to bring your products to life for people so they can feel it, touch it, see it, hear it, taste it. You can use different words like that. So people that are buying something online don't get that same sensation of going into a physical store. So you have to use those sorts of words to give them that sort of sensation. So this guide goes through that, explains it. It talks about how it relates to people's learning styles. That's what I was talking about before. So you have visual learners, auditory learners, kinesthetic learners. That's the touch, physical side. So that also relates to the senses. And if you use words that line up with both, then you are going to bring your products to life. So you'll see that there's a little information in there. And then there's a whole bunch of different examples of words, which is really useful. So people can have this. And then when they're writing their product copy, they can pull out different words. Obviously, you're not going to use all of them. You're going to use what makes sense, especially things like the touch ones tend to be for physical products. Or taste ones tend to be with food. But it doesn't have to be. You can use, metaphors and stuff. And then there are worksheets in here too. So you can use this as a lead magnet, as a handout, as something you could do with a group. So if you have a private group, you could run through this, make it a series of live streams or a webinar with hands-on webinar. And you'll see the worksheets in there so you could break it up and send it out. And because there's a slideshow with it, you can easily run this as a webinar. Let me see the slideshow and open that up as well for you so you can see. All right, so you see this, and this looks a little different, and there's spaces to add your information. Oh, I love that dog. And look, it's all colorful.
He's so cute.
He is adorable. He's not Sparky, but he's adorable. Agenda. So add your own stuff in here, add your own images. Look, this is a great place. We have one image in there, but it's a great place to add something fun. Like you can pick up on Unsplash. Unsplash.com is a great place to get photos that you can use in commercial use. So those are something I would add in there. And you can see, just edit it. There's 76 slides in this. So you have plenty to do a nice, long, juicy webinar with lots of actions and action steps. Did you put action steps in here? Did we?
No, I don't think there's action steps. It's
right,
the idea of this was, it's not a course in its own right. It's a masterclass or a webinar.
Right.
Yeah.
So you'd want to use it with clients. You could use it as a paid thing, but you could still use it, the basic one, as a lead magnet, a high value one or a mini course. And then people have to pay for something, the bigger in-depth one. So you could break it up. I'm thinking you could use just a portion of it, like the list of words, as a lead magnet and then sell it on as a bigger mini class. But it still could be a low cost one. Depends how you do it. You're planning to use this, right?
Yeah, my daughter works in a bakery. She does their social media. One of the things that she initially found, it was difficult for her to describe something. I'd say, "What are you promoting today?" And she'd say, "Oh, we're on donuts." I'd say, "That's brilliant. What donuts are you promoting?" And she'd look at me, "Donuts?" And I thought, jam donuts, iced donuts, ring donuts, glazed donuts, right? And then as I start asking about the donuts, suddenly her description started changing from, instead of come in and buy some fresh donuts, it would be, "Today we're promoting traditional jam donuts filled with raspberry jam, coated in soft sugar crystals that make your tongue tingle as you bite it." And the descriptions changed once she had to start describing the product. But I've seen in a lot of e-commerce shops, I went to look in one it was in Wales, which is a country next to England, and they have these most amazing tray bakes, which are cakes that are baked in a tray. Never heard of that before. It's not something that we have around much in England. You might have more in the US.
We have a sheet cakes, they call them often. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it would say chocolate tray bake, and that'd be it. But you'd look at the photograph and it looked gorgeous. And I went through the whole of the site, and I'll be honest, I contacted the owner and I said, "You're not selling any of these cakes, are you?" And she said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Because you're not describing your cakes." And I actually recorded a little video and I sent it over to her. And about 3 days later, I opened the door to 3 packets of tray bakes. It was the best half hour I'd spent on a video helping a random stranger, because the cakes looked fantastic in the photos, but the descriptions weren't describing any of the product. Ice cream van outside.
You're bringing it to life. We're getting that auditory aspect in there.
Yep, you get it all with
getting
us.
Excited.
So just by adding in things like this lemon drizzle cake is made with freshly ground lemons, the zest of the lemons is sprinkled across the top. And as the baker is describing the lemon cake, I love lemon flavored things. I know that's weird, but I really, really love it. And my mouth started watering, and I'm like, "Oh, I so want lemon cake." And my husband, who works in the same office as me, he's like, "What are you watching now?" And I'm like, "I'm not watching anything, honest, I'm just reading the description." And he's like, "I'm not going to the shop. We're in lockdown. Whatever it is, you can't have." But that's what a really good e-commerce product description does. It makes you want the product, even if you might not be feeling hungry when you start reading the descriptions. So in the sensory words, there's food descriptions, words that you can use with food. So if you've got people who bake, then this might be a really handy thing to pull out and focus on the food parts. There's also for people who sell beauty products. You see lots of little shops selling homemade soaps and toiletries and things like that. So there's a section on beauty words that you can help people do their e-commerce copy for selling soaps. And there's an example, I think it's a coconut soap example. And again, that was actually a shop in Ireland that I spoke to the owner about 18 months ago. And his shop was just photographs of soap blocks. And I've got to be honest, they're really lovely when they arrive. But on the screen, they just look like slabs of... So he didn't have any descriptions and didn't understand why he wasn't selling it. So just by adding a description, this freshly made coconut milk soap will help leave your skin really soft to the touch. and it's got grated fresh coconut in it, it's got this in it, it's got that in. But more importantly, when you're in the shower, lathering up, covered in bubbles, you will smell like you are on a beach holiday. I want that. I want a beach holiday in the shower. I'm really shallow, aren't I? Beach holidays in the shower, lemon cake when I'm looking at my screen and all of that. But having the sensory words really does make a difference to e-commerce owners. And if you're able to pull out the elements and record them, for example, I've mentioned that there's lots of food places online. They really need your help right now. And, you know, a lot of them have gone from being able to have people in their restaurant to having to deliver online. So having the whole e-commerce and being able to make people's mouth water with your words, then you can do really, really well with that. And Robin's just saying she wants that soap. Where can I buy it? I can't remember the guy's name now. I just remember it was in Ireland. But yes, go to Lush. I mean, we've all seen their product descriptions, haven't we?
Oh,
hands handing over
fantastic.
the cash before we've even finished reading. You know, so we
And
know.
I would, just to interrupt for one sec, remember that when it comes to e-commerce, this isn't just about physical products. So you can use the same sorts of sensory words when you're talking about a digital product. So, I mean, obviously I'm thinking about courses, but you can use, say, auditory ones, like, if I don't have the list in front of me, but, you know, listening to your audience, the raucousness, or the what's another word? You know, something about the way they're feeling, what you're hearing, what you're, where's that list?
I'm just getting it on screen now.
Yeah, I can't see it as well.
And in the guide, you've got the Canva link, so you can make this visual your own branded colours.
Like the buzz that you're hearing from people, all these great things, the
There we go.
ear-splitting noise. You know, you
Sensory
talk
words.
about the benefits when you're talking about the benefits, say, of a digital product that you're selling. You can also use those sorts of words. It's a sizzling hot course.
Sizzling hot copy.
Yeah.
Mouth-watering words.
Sparkling. You know, I love the word sparkle. Sparkling, shimmering.
And we've even got here, you know, if someone's visual, remember you can use colour, shape and appearance.
Yep.
Things like gigantic, teeny, bulky, glittering, sparkling.
Yep. And then if you want something different, take one of those words, go into wordhippo.com, put that in, and then you're going to get a whole bunch more different ideas for words you can use. That's my favorite site instead of the thesaurus. So if you haven't heard of it, I'll put the link in here too.
I'm just pausing on this words related to touch, and you might be thinking to yourself, you know, what's that got to do with anything? Well, if we said slimy, you'd you know what slimy is. You see it when people talk about writing slimy sales copy, you know, but you can say something like, you know, would you prefer to write smooth as silk e-commerce copy or slimy, sticky, creepy e-commerce copy? And you've just put in a whole bunch of sensory words.
Crisp. You're crisp and clear. Right.
Hairy words.
I love it. Versus fluffy, lots of fluffy, woolly ones. Yep.
So there's lots of different ways you can use the sensory words, particularly with certain types of store owners, like food store owners or restaurants, versus beauty product owners versus clothing owners. So you've got the examples in the sensory words to create either a masterclass or a really nice bonus to go with the main course. So I think this is a bonus in the launch time that you really have to get. You have to go out and get it now, because I don't think it's going to be in any other way. Maybe in the Black Friday bundle if you're lucky.
Yeah, which is not for quite a while.
Yeah. And by then, everybody else would have sold their version of it. And you look like you've jumped on the bandwagon instead of being the market leader you are. So,
Yeah, it's a great bonus. And then, so what else have you gone through that I missed?
right.
Can you talk about how it changed our lives having an e-commerce site?
I've just said right at the beginning how all of our lives have changed, that we're doing more online than we have at any other point in history. When I was thinking about what I was going to say, I was going to do this whole spiel about the Roaring Twenties, which I've completely forgotten. But it went along the lines of the last big pandemic that we had that was global, took 2 years to return to normal, and we're only 1 year in. So we've still got another year before we kind of get to any semblance of normality or the world how it used to be. And then after that, people went nuts. And that's why we had the Roaring Twenties. I know in the US you had the Prohibition and the Jazz Age was coming in and all of that. But the Roaring Twenties was a worldwide phenomenon. It wasn't exclusive to one particular country. And everybody used to think that it was because of World War I that people were celebrating that. But now I think it was like, oh my gosh, they've had social distancing and they had to wear masks. There was no lockdowns then. But people used to get put into isolation. I heard from a family member that their mother was locked in their flat for 2 weeks and the landlord used to push food under the door. And I'm thinking, what food could they push under the door? They would have lived on bread for 2 weeks. And it was only after 2 weeks they were allowed out because they were seen as no longer infectious. But that's what people were like back then. And I thought, gosh, no wonder they really let their hair down in the 20s. They were sick of the distancing, sick of the masks, and it was party, party, party. So if you haven't got a party online store, you're missing out.
Well, the same sort of thing happened in this, with people in nursing homes and stuff having to stay in their rooms and having their food delivered. So they're going to be partying too.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I don't think things are going to go back to what they were before at all. People are very comfortable buying online. They prefer it. I think people will still be nervous for a while about going into a physical store. But even before this happened, people were used to buying things online. And now it's just blown up even more. So having an e-commerce store, if you don't already or your audience doesn't, is just a perfect opportunity for you to go out and actually help people build these. So this is going to help with writing the copy. We have the other courses as well with building them. I wouldn't have been able to get through what I've just gotten through with moving if I didn't have an e-commerce site where I'm selling things. Obviously, having a VA and outsources and stuff like that has made the huge difference too. So the combination of the two. But the fact that I can have my automated emails all scheduled, I have things set up in the e-commerce site that have the whole checkout process on its own. All of that has made a huge difference. So you can see behind me, I've got an empty office with some shipping boxes and an empty bookshelf and all that. And my business keeps running because it's e-commerce. Yeah.
Because you've got great product descriptions.
Yeah, it could be better. I could go through the course and improve them. They can always improve them, shorten them. You tell me my sales pages are too long.
Team Sparks hobby that we've all got to do this commerce course together.
You know what? No matter what, if you think no matter how far along you are in your business, there's always room to go back and refine things and look at it again, because business changes. You learn more about your customers and what's working, what isn't working. That's why you also have to be careful when you look at someone else's website, no matter how big a company it is, looking at what copy. Sometimes I've seen people copy my copy, and I think, well, why did you do that? How do you know it even works? How is it? And just if it does work for my audience, how do you know it's going to work for yours? So it's better to just look at it, read through the course and use it yourself, use it with your courses. It doesn't have to be for an online store. A lot of this stuff is going to apply. And we do have the information in the course about the pages. So there's always going to be a little bit of overlap with other copywriting, but this one is very focused on e-commerce, because I know that question is going to come up as to how this is different from our copywriting 101 or our email copywriting.
I said at the beginning that I felt this would be good for authors if you teach people who write books, put together books, that sort of thing, because you need the short product copy descriptions on Amazon. And I can remember when I was doing a program for my VIPs, and we were talking about doing low content products, and the one that I always encourage them to do is a journal. And you'll get in various packs, you'll get planners and journals that you can also put up on print on demand, KDP. I forget what they call it. They change its name so often. Amazon stopped changing things. So I always say to them, you know, you need to have something that's on Amazon that's selling, you know, and marketing your brand without you having to do all of the heavy lifting. And the reason for this is when you have a little book, if you have a Kindle book on Amazon, when you put up another product, anybody who's got that Kindle book is notified that you've got another product. Yeah. So Amazon market for you, but you have to have products up there, and one of them being either given away, and for me it's my blogging challenge book, I give that away, so that when I put up other products, Amazon messages all of those people and says, oh, by the way, Sarah Arrow's got a new something out, go and take a look. And people do, and they go and buy. So if you write really good descriptions, you get more sales. And the first couple of books that I put up print on demand, I just said, this is a book about, the first one was Instagram and choosing your right images for Instagram. And that's all I said. And then the next one, I put up a journal, and it had the same flamingos that I had on my Instagram book because I thought the flamingos looked cute. And here I did a different kind of description. I said, the paper is quite thick enough for you to use a gel pen. And I love writing with my gel pens, and it not sink through. And I had so many messages from people who'd bought that, found me on Twitter, because I put my Twitter handle on it, and sent me a message to say, I bought it because you said about the gel pens. I write in gel pens. So these little descriptions, these little details that you might think to yourself, gosh, why would anyone write that? That sounds a little crazy. There's somebody out there reading that saying, this person totally gets me. I hate it when I write and it sinks through the page. I love that I know before I even write a word that my ink is not going to seep through the page and spoil.
I would not have thought of that.
You know, for me, if I get a book with poor quality paper in it, I feel robbed. Even if it was like a book from the dollar store, I feel like I've had my life ruined because my notebook isn't taking notes properly, that the ink is seeping through. I'm somehow losing the magic of the words. So that little fact makes all of the difference. And there's little things about your products that you know, or your audience knows about their products, that make all of the difference when it comes to selling them on e-commerce.
Yep. And I challenge you guys to go out and actually find different things that have those sorts of words in them, really short descriptions, ones that are too long that you couldn't get through. So whenever you're shopping online now, take a look at that and see how people are writing their descriptions and who does a really good job and who leaves you kind of yawning and clicking away, and you only buy because you know you wanted that particular thing. So look through Amazon, look through other sites, because there are some people who really excel at it. And if it gets you excited and you can feel that product, even if it's digital, or get some sort of emotion out of it, then you know that's the type of person you want to be following and looking at and getting ideas from. But obviously in the course, you're going to walk through all of that and try it out yourself, get comfortable with it, and then teach it to your audience, right? Have you gone through, you didn't go through the expansion pack, did you?
I've not. I've got that open, or have you got that open?
I don't have it open.
Ah,
I
I'll
don't.
just get.
You're lucky I'm here at all. You know
I'm
what
so
happens
grateful
when you
you're here.
Oh my God. If you guys didn't hear, if Sarah didn't tell you, I just moved and it's been a nightmare. It was great when that one end in New Jersey where they packed everything, but at this end in Colorado, it's just been a disaster. So I'm working on only a few hours of sleep. I was scared to come on because everything's been going wrong. Did I really schedule this for like 5 a.m. tomorrow when it was supposed to be 10 a.m. Mountain, noon today? Did I really do that?
Okay. But we're still here.
Sorry.
So in the expansion pack, you get this. It's a website copy grader. And to me, this is the most perfect lead magnet on the planet. You can pop this into a quiz on AppSumo. They've got quiz software on offer at the moment. So you can take the questions and the answers and you can pop them into that, pop it on your website, and then send it to your people and then upsell them the course. Yeah. And this is just absolutely magnificent. And it's only a couple of bucks more. I say a couple of bucks. I think it's an extra 37 or an extra 27?
Only 27. It's normally 47, which is still pretty low.
It's very low. You should, this on its own should be 47 bucks. We need to have the chat about pricing again.
And there's other stuff in there too. Sorry, go ahead.
This is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just going to close this up and
it's in a spreadsheet too.
Yeah. And that was the spreadsheet, but I've got it open on Dropbox. So if I'm pressing all the wrong buttons on Dropbox. I'm just going to come out of that and come back to StreamYard and share again. We've also got the marvelous Trello board. Now, this, you just go up and you copy this into your account. I'm just seeing if I can.
This is a bonus.
Oh, this is a bonus?
Yeah, that's a bonus. The video guide is the other thing.
Right. I'm not going to show you this. This is a bonus. This isn't anything in the expansion pack. You can just copy this into your account.
This is the bonus for getting both the course and the expansion pack.
That's it. Yeah. It's very easy to copy over, but I can't seem to do that. I think it's because I'm on the Content Sparks Trello board. So the instructions to copy the board are here. And you also get the link to the Canva. So you can change all of these cover images and put in your own branded ones and make a background if you want. And then you've got, your learning objectives. Now, this is really good. If you've got a member of your audience and you're teaching them, they can tick these off as they go along, because there are some people who prefer to tick things rather than to actually write things in the action guide. So this is really fantastic for that type of audience that like to tick things off as they go through. Now, your job is to talk while I go and find the next bit.
But the video guide. So the website grader, just one thing so it's in a document format, which you could make into a PDF where people just go through and add up their scores, and it has the scoring, whatever you call it, results, the explanation. But in the spreadsheet, it will auto calculate that. Now, I know you can't make a spreadsheet into a PDF and have it work. So that's the sort of thing you do need to just share the spreadsheet itself, or you could load it into Google Forms. Some people do that. You could use it in a quiz. So if you have something like Thrive Quiz Builder, part of the Thrive suite, they now don't sell it separately. They sell it as a whole suite of tools. But when I've looked at other quiz builders, the pricing ends up being pretty similar. So if you have a WordPress site, that would make sense to use. But there are other things online where you can do quizzes. So you could set it up that way, so long as you have something where it can calculate the results and send people to a page based on what their score is. So I did that once with lead quizzes as well, which works out. So just set it up in that. So you have all the information, you have the questions, you have the calculations, and you just set it up. And then you could set it up as a link, as a lead magnet. And then at the end, you send people to your course, or you could send them to a little webinar. So you could do something like use the sensory words guide, say this is going to get your copy, bring your copy to life. And then from there, take them to the next level. So there are different ways you could do it, but always go for the simplest route if you're not sure how to set things up. I know some people get a little bit overwhelmed when there are so many options and the tech gets too complicated. So always go the simplest route if you're not sure, and then you can set up some of the tech later, or find a VA to set it up for you. We were talking in our VIP group yesterday about this, because people get held back because they want to do the great big grand everything with all the bells and whistles, and then it takes forever to get their programs up, if they ever do. Better to get one thing and keep it simple, and then add on and get the help you need as you are ready to invest more. So, okay, I went off on a tangent. Go over to the video guide.
Tangent. It was a good tangent. So this is the other thing that's in the upgrade pack. There's 3 things in it. We showed you the grader. Now there's the e-commerce video guide, and this is a lovely worksheet. It's 15 pages long, as you can see down the bottom there. And it talks you through about creating videos for e-commerce. And if you've got a particular product, like something in a box, an unboxing video is fantastic.
Which is kind of what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Only as a live stream.
Yeah. And we're much more friendly and interactive than a lot of unboxing videos. And there's product tour videos and so on. Those, I think, work really well for things like bed and breakfasts and other things. Then there's how-to videos. You'll know on Content Sparks. Oh, gosh, everywhere I move the cursor, it talks to me. I'm not going to move it anymore. How-to videos. There is a fantastic section on the Content Sparks website where you can go through, and Sharyn's got videos on how to use Zoom, how to do various other things, how to add goals in ActiveCampaign, all sorts of things. Sharyn's got little videos showing you how to do it.
Yeah, so Snagit. How do you Snagit? There's definitely to do a how-to tutorial. Yep.
So this is a really powerful one in an e-commerce store, you know, how to fit your car seat if you're selling car seats, and all sorts of things that you can create with the how-to video.
How to put timestamps on your videos so that people know where to look to find the information.
And make that PLR so I can buy it. The customer testimonial videos. Now, for some audiences, it can be really hard to get customer testimonials. And for others, it can be really easy. But, you know, the lady I was talking about in Wales who made those amazing tray bakes, I would do a video testimonial for her. I loved them. They were fabulous. I would have to get her to send me more cake. See, I've got a reason to get in touch with her now. I need to get some more cake. Can you send it to me so I can do you a video with these cakes in it? And it's behind the scenes, and you can just add in all of the information. You can either do this as a workshop and give this a workbook to your people and walk them through it and get them completing it as they go through. And getting them mapping out their e-commerce video strategy. And I don't think I've seen anybody else talking about an e-commerce video strategy. So again, as well as the sensory words and the grader, you're putting together a really fantastic program that there's nothing else even remotely like it. You're putting together something that really helps e-commerce store owners, and you're going to have a lot of attention on you, particularly if you're helping a specific type of e-commerce people. I'm so tempted to right now try and rebrand myself as an e-commerce bakery specialist. But don't think my daughter would be too happy about that.
Little side business. Maybe have her do it.
Yeah, but it is something that is really, I've got to say, just talking through this, and I can see how I'm going to use it with my authors, getting them writing better descriptions to sell on Amazon. But I am so tempted to go and get myself a little t-shirt store and drop ship and have a little t-shirt design and pop it up and write my little descriptions to see if I can sell t-shirts.
We could use this in Etsy. You know, anyone that has an Etsy store, they have to have their page. They have to have, you know, they're not going to have everything that's in the course, but that's why it's customizable. And you can do what you want, fit it to your audience. So anyone with an Etsy store, anyone with an online course academy, if they're selling multiple, anything where you're selling multiple things that have to have short descriptions and pages, this is going to work well for. And really challenge to think about different things, not physical products, not just physical products, but other types of less tangible or digital.
I'm thinking, you know what would make a really fantastic curriculum? You have the online store one, the expansion that goes with that. You have fast and fearless information products about creating digital products. And then you can bridge the gap between the store and the product and show them how to upload the products to the store, and then show them how to write the copy that helps them sell their products. And that would make like a group coaching program that's phenomenal. Oh, we have such good brainstorms on these calls, don't we?
And you can add the marketing side. So marketing your store, you start with the email list building from scratch. You can build into email copywriting after they've done the e-commerce copywriting. So they work on that. Low cost marketing strategies. So you start out with building the store and go into the marketing side of it as well and building an audience. So there's so much you can do. Try not to get overwhelmed. And use a mind map to map it out, because that will be your easiest way to get a good visual and simplify it for yourself. Okay. All right. Did we miss anything? Don't think we missed anything.
We've gone through quite a lot of it. If there's something you'd like to show us, speak now. Type in a comment and say what you'd like to see. I'll get back up the sales page.
Was there a checklist as well in the, or
did you? There is. I mentioned that earlier. It's a fantastic checklist. I've got it open in a Word doc, which means I cannot open it. Oh, let me see if I can.
This is why you need a second monitor. Okay. I'm going to keep bugging you. I have this every single time. I give you a hard time about this.
So
yes, there is a copy checklist. Oh, you got it. Okay. No, you don't have it. I'm going to open it because I have a separate monitor where I can do everything. You know, okay. I won't say anything anymore about it. But can I share my screen to just show the copy checklist, or did you do that?
I just want to say, this is the page. Go over and take a look. Now I've said that, Sharyn can share her screen.
And then you can say it again afterwards.
I should have done that now.
Because I know you want to. I'm sorry. Okay, this is the fun of doing live streams instead of just recording a video, by the way. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you can run your course this way. So the copy checklist is a nice, easy, how many pages? It's 6 pages, but this is another great handout that goes with the course that you could potentially use as a lead magnet too. So people look at their copy and goes with the website grader. This is not as in-depth as the website grader, but it's a nice way for them to go through. See, it covers all the different pages. Did they do the stuff on the category page, the contact us, about us? So these are all things that are discussed in the course. And then they use the checklist as they go through to evaluate whether they've done it. Headlines, do they use trigger words? Do they have something about current promotions, questions? Is it 10 words maximum in length? There's a section for all your copies. It's simple, specific, under 3 or around 300 words or less, depending on how much space there is, positive branding. So all of that is in that copy checklist, and that's in the main course with the action guide. Okay. So you've got the sales page as well. And there's the link down there, scrolling across contentsparks.com/e-com copy. Or you can just go to the main site and there'll be a banner at the top that pops up on the homepage.
Yep. And there it is. And you've got 6 days to get the launch bonus. And I think it is something really worth adding to it. And having the extra when you buy the this and the expansion pack, getting the Trello board, I think is always really good, because you always have some person that it used to be they didn't have a printer, but now they purposely don't have printer because they're not printing things. But before, they were too lazy to have a printer.
The only reason to have a printer is to print shipping labels to send stuff back to Amazon. Because their product description wasn't right.
Exactly. And once everybody's got their product descriptions right, we can throw our printers in the bin.
Absolutely.
So you'll always have somebody who doesn't want to print the action guide. So having that Trello board really just does make your life easier. And if you're delivering it live, you can have somebody sitting there checking it off. Or if you offer coaching calls to people as an upsell for buying this, you can say, show me your Trello board. Let's see where you're stuck. And then I didn't do the Trello board. Oh, so it's not working for you because you've not taken any of the steps. I wonder why that is. So it's a really good accountability tool to help you with those clients that sometimes sabotage themselves or get in their own way. So this really altogether rounds out a really wonderful learning experience that helps you get results for people.
Yep. Love it. Great idea. Okay. So anything else? Again, like Sarah said, pop your questions in. We'll keep an eye out for them as well. And otherwise, go check it out and grab your license while you can get all this great stuff, and let us know what you think, and share your copy if you want to for your own stuff so we can see it. All right. Yep. And Sarah, thank you so much for managing this while I was off dealing with the movers and the chaos and getting this started.
We've been doing these together nearly 2 years. And really? Kevin came in and he said to me, "Are you okay? You're looking a bit shaky." And I'm like, "Sharon's not here. It's not right without Sharyn." And he says, "Get over yourself."
Yeah, best coaching comment I've ever gotten from anyone. Advice is just get over it and do it. So Kevin's a pro at that too, obviously.
Yeah, there's me feeling all sorry for myself, pining for my buddy in Colorado, and he's like, "Get over yourself."
All right. Well, we're going to say goodbye then. And for people that are watching this live, thanks so much for being here live. And if you're watching the replay, drop your questions in and head over and grab your license to E-commerce Copywriting Essentials. Take care now.